I am sure sports. You know me there, I'm coast to coast representing. I mean, I say this is righteous representing for Omar. You don't know, come get the sports over here from near and far. Boy. Me say I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. If me not sure, that me not say it. Know who score, that me not say it. Never know no game play, that me not say it. If me never seen a game, me no know who play. For your sports news, better come over here so. For your soccer news, then come over here so. If you don't love sports, still come over here so. For the day done, you are gonna love over here so.
So when it comes on to behavior concerning football, Jamaica is decent. I am sure that if we can get all of these things done, set in place by the end of April, it gives us enough time before the World Cup campaign. Not afraid of no Brazil, no Argentina with these crapper players. We are good enough. Remember, like, subscribe, share. Listen, comment, let me know what your thoughts are.
Trick-Nick Jerk Marinade gives your meats and vegetables authentic Jamaican jerk flavor. The spices are directly from Jamaica. Spices like jerk seasoning, allspice, Scotch bonnet pepper, fresh scallions, thyme, ginger, and garlic. The key ingredients to a great jerk marinade. 0% sugar and low in sodium. You want to try it?
Made up of 18 Jamaican herbs and spices. Add delicious, bold flavor to your next grilling experience. Flavoring sauce, a marinade, basting, condiment, or topping. Trick-Nick Jerk Barbecue Sauce.
William N. Memorial High School D-Cup Alumni presents its third annual fundraising barbecue on Memorial Day, May 30th, 2022. Wear your favorite jersey to Wilsonwood Park in Mount Vernon, New York. Remember to take exit 12 off the Hutchinson River Parkway. Music by DJ Mad Max of Sound 1000. Proceeds to aid the William N. High School Costa Cup team. For more information, contact Keegan 304-607-4034. Our codfish at 954-639-2991. Proud of people, it's important. Remember, make sure say Ono did that.
Greetings and good morning to you one and all. Welcome to I Am Sure Sports. I am your host, Manningsman. I want to thank you for joining, for being a part of our stream today, our live stream. It will be a good one. I promise you that. As usual, we always want to stop. We want to pause. We want to rest and give thanks for life and life more abundantly. You know, it's never guaranteed for any of us to wake up in the morning. So once we are here, we give thanks for the breath we breathe. We also look to the hills from whence cometh our help. Our help comes from the Lord. I encourage you this morning that you, in spite of all of life's challenges, you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. There's a reason to fight on and carry on. And that reason is you are alive and you have a next opportunity to make something meaningful and worthwhile of your life. Today, as you go about your life's journey, seek a way of adding value to someone else's life. Make someone better, because we reap what we sow, we reap more than we sow, and we reap later than we sow. Big thank you to the sponsors of this video. They are Prestige Finance. Prestige Finance, lending a helping hand where you need it the most. They are located in Linstead, St. Catherine, Jamaica, and they're offering you loans of up to 100,000 Jamaican dollars. You can call them at 876-884-7390. It's very low interest rate, 0 to 4%. There is no processing fee, and there is same-day processing. Also, a big thank you to Launch Legacy, where they handle risk and seek legacy. So for all your personal insurance needs in Canada and the USA, Listen, visit them at launchlegacy.com or call or text them at 647-989-0782. Once you come onto the stream, you hit the like button, you share the content, and if you have not yet subscribed to the platform, please go ahead and do so. This morning, I have the privilege of having Mr. Emelio Williams, who is the president and founder of Valeo Football Club and Valeo Foundation, right? He's the director of methodology, junior academy, and training academy. And Coach Emelio founded Valeo FC in 2008. His passion was to create the best soccer training environment for ambitious and passionate players. His mission was to provide equal opportunity and access to elite soccer training and all of its life skill benefits for all committed players, regardless of socio-economic or geographic boundaries. Coach Emelio brings over 20 years of youth coaching experience, including Oakwood CT, Hammer, Oakwood in Connecticut. Then you have Hammer, you have Valeo FC. He played collegiate soccer at Southern Connecticut University, including 4 NCAA national championship runs and 2 wins. Right? He is a master of engaging and teaching very young players. He utilizes his innate talent, calm demeanor, and focus on fun to connect with and inspire our youngest athletes to become confident and on the ball and love the game. Coach Emelio is committed to excellence as a player, a person, and a coach. He instilled that in every Valeo player. He developed Valeo's personal experience excellence program, which is PEP, like the primary exit profile program in Jamaica, to provide players with not only elite football training, but also the skills and passion to be a leader and to create a positive social impact. He firmly believes soccer is a metaphor for life and that the global sport of soccer is a vehicle for opportunity and positive change in the world. And when I grow up and become a big man, I want a bio like that. Coach, welcome. Good to have you.
Hey, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Wonderful. I hope I've done justice to Emelio Williams in my introduction. If not, go ahead and introduce yourself to the people. I don't know if I did you justice,
No. Anyone that knows me, I'm a bit understated. You did just fine. Thank you.
Wonderful. All right. I mean, I know I read that, but tell us about Valeo, where you're located, where you're operating, and what you're presently doing to enhance the sport of soccer, football, globally, with primary focus on in the States and in Jamaica.
Oh, well, so as you rightfully said, it was founded in 2008. The origins of Valeo is when I was younger, and even now, the sport of football has given me a lot and provided lots of opportunity for myself to travel the world and meet new people and do really like interesting, cool things. Pretty much to realize my dreams. So I wanted to build an organization that gave what was given and provide a platform for young, ambitious people. I was born in the country in Jamaica, and obviously I've had the opportunity to go around the world several times. But to give the opportunities that were given to me. And so my passions are football and education and a little bit of technology. So, I've always played and coached football. So it only made sense to build an organization that did just that. And when we started, our focus really was on, the individual who was trying to improve a player and using the sport, to be a metaphor for life, to teach life skills, the things that are truly important. So yeah, it's a game, but anyone that has trained seriously and played at a high level knows that it takes a tremendous amount of commitment, dedication, hard work. You have to learn to work with other people to accomplish a goal, and the margins between winning and losing, even though we don't use the word losing, is razor thin. So there are tons of messages and lessons that we use the sport to teach.
Awesome. Awesome. One of the questions persons are asking already is, where is the team located? Where is, yeah. So
So
let's just,
we're like here. I'm in Newton, Massachusetts right now. We're just right outside of Boston.
in Boston.
Yeah, in Boston.
You were Boston, you're a Boston football academy before? Or
No,
it has always been Valeo?
we've always been Vallejo. When we started, we were in the inner city, and that's where, because in America, football can be a very expensive proposition. So we were started working with inner city kids to try and get them into prep schools, prepare them and whatnot. And someone came along and believed in the vision that I had, and pretty much gave me a lot of money to build, a really great facility. We have a little mini stadium outside. We have a 30,000 square foot indoor building that I'm in right now. This is one of our conference rooms. But our focus really was on just working with, kids in the inner city and kids in the third world. And but then over time, because our focus was on the individual, that resonated with a lot of people. And then it went from 1 to 100 to 1,000 kids. So our primary base is in Newton, but over the years, we work with, you know, we have a group in Kenya, in Cape Verde, which is in Africa. We do a lot of work in Haiti with the various foundations there, and obviously, we do a lot of work in Jamaica.
How long have you been, because this is thing, how long have you been doing work in Jamaica? And where specifically have you been working? Because until this year, I've never heard about Valeo.
We fly under the radar. So we've been in Jamaica since 2015, and our first partnership, was with MBU in Montego Bay.
Oh, Montego Bay United.
Yeah. So Paul is a passionate footballer. Orville Powell, and he was really big on youth, and so we were there. We're in an academy there. We even organized a futsal tournament, futsal league there, that was played at MBU. So the same setup, but for whatever reason, I think when we sit at the higher level, when it gets down to operations, if everyone is not in alignment, it doesn't work. So then we moved from Montego Bay, and then I, ran into Shelton from, Shelton was at Clarendon. He's since migrated, but then we ended up with Chris James in Barbican. And so my goal really was just to, build the same kind of setup that we had here. But Chris, was rather magnanimous in saying, no, let's just bring it to Casafa, because what we're doing, all of Jamaica needs it. So rather than be narrowly focused, he's like, let's just work with Casafa, because, they're proactive and they're promoting youth and this and that. So then I ended up at Barbican, and we're in Barbican since 2018 or 2017, something like that. And then we work with Casafa because we were doing the youth. This current instant of the youth league, we had done a pilot, and we did it at Water Commissions. I think that might have been in 2018 or 2019. It was only for 6 weeks, and we had just 2 divisions, I think U13 and U15, and 8 clubs. So there was a pilot before this. So there are a lot of people doing or trying to do good things to help. So just because you don't hear about it doesn't mean it's not necessarily happening.
Okay, so since 2018, you have been operating predominantly in Kassafa, but originally you started out in Montego Bay
Yep.
at MBU, Mobile United.
Yes, sir.
All right. And so in Kingston now, there's a focus, an emphasis on younger age group because it's an academy. So you're running a competition now. Is it a seasonal competition or a year-long competition? What is the plan? What is the name of it? Because again, some people may say, well, why just Kasafa? Why Valeo is here doing this work and it's not right across Jamaica? All 14 parishes getting a taste of it. Is that part of the plan going forward? Is this a test run? Is this like building the foundation to build on? Explain that to us.
Yeah, so it's, initially when you take a step back and you look at what needs to be done to move football forward. Football is not a means to an it's a means to an end, not an end in itself. So I literally looked at, okay, for us to move forward, we have to have a holistic approach to development that takes into consideration all the stakeholders, the players, the coaches, the clubs. What is your league competition, your competitive environment looks like, and more importantly, what is a training environment looks like. And last but not least, the actual infrastructure that you actually play on, i.e. the fields. We can't expect to play Barcelona 2014 Pep Guardiola Barcelona tiki-taka when the fields that we're playing on is just not anywhere close to what everyone else in first year football world plays on. So the league in Cassava is just the opening salvo. Initially, it was supposed to be a nationwide league. The system, regional leagues that are laid out that, similar to how it's done in Kasafa, would be done in the West, done in the North, done in the South, done in the East. But we have to start somewhere. I'm only one person. Valeo is only one entity, and it's not something that we can do with excellence if we start out and trying to do everything one time. So for Kasafa, the league is it's not a league. What it is a competitive environment. The other part of that is a training environment. So what our goals are is to model something that exists in Europe, where if you are a 13-year-old kid, you're playing a game on the weekend, but you're training 4 times a week. If you're 10, maybe you're training 3 times a week. And the season is not 6 weeks. The season is, 30 weeks or 38 weeks. So we are literally trying to, we're creating a longer duration of match play and training and trying to achieve 365 days of football and training for the ambitious people. Now, obviously, there's schoolboy football, and we're not trying to infringe on anyone's toes. So for the older boys or girls, hopefully, it will work around whatever the existing calendars are. So right now, this is a spring for Kasafa. Then we're going to break before the summer because Kasafa has it in their mandate. They have to play summer competition for 13s and 15s, so we'll break for that. Then we'll start again in September with the younger age groups. And what our goals are is to add, in addition, currently we do 13s, 15s, and 17s. Our goals are to add, 10, 11s, and then 19s, 20s later on this year in Kasafa. And then hopefully we can start another version of what exists now in Kingston, maybe in the North Coast at Draxall, maybe out, out
In
west.
St. Anne. In St. Anne.
Mhm.
I think St. Anne would be a good place.
Yeah, so initially, obviously, I could sit here and drink rum and think of, say, yeah, man, I'm going to write out. This is the master plan. So in the original plan, I say Draxall seems central, so all the teams from Trelawney, St. Anne, and St. Mary could meet there. Then I said, okay, out west, there's a bunch of different areas out west. The teams from Hanover and Westmoreland could meet again, central located where it's not very difficult on the clubs or the parents and the players to get to the games. And then on the South Coast, there's a couple different facilities that we looked at that we think would be central. But obviously, I could stay here or wherever I'm in the world and draw up a plan. And we've had several discussions with some of the stakeholders already, and they're receptive to the plan. But for it to actually work, everyone has to pull in the same direction. Why it works in CASAFA is because the youth academy coaches are very passionate and they're driven and they want it. The kids obviously want it. CASAFA is not putting any brakes on it, so they do their best to facilitate it having it. So all the stakeholders are pulling in the same direction and saying, hey, yes, we need to train more, in order for us to see Jamaica in the next World Cup. We're not going to just say, yeah, man, we have all the talent and this and that. Enough of the excuses. It's really about how much work that we put in and the planning and the execution. And it starts at the youngest age groups. You can't just throw a team together and expect to go and beat Spain. That's just madness.
All right. For the person who are asking question, I want to give Mr. Williams enough time to explain, and then we will get into the question, because I can't ask him questions that you're asking before he explains what he's doing. So maybe in his explanation, he'll get some of the answers. After that, we'll get to some of the questions. All right. Yeah. All right. So the plan is to move this across Jamaica. And what is it like? How long do you want the players to be playing, and how many games you want the players to play?
So in the US, because Valeo here, we're in the MLS Youth League, which is the highest league in the country. And before that, we're an official development academy for the US national team. And that's just because we put a lot of players on the US national team. And America is a very big country, but there's quite a few things that they do extremely well, which is just to organize and mobilize everyone all the stakeholders. So then I literally modeled, there's a Valeo in Portugal. So I got to see all the top clubs there, youth academies and the professional teams there. So I literally modeled what they're doing in Portugal, what they're doing in the US, what they're doing in Belgium, and, try to create something that is right-sized for Jamaica. For this current competition in the spring is going to be 12 weeks. In the fall, we'll go fall, there's no winter in Jamaica, but for the fall before Christmas, we'll do another 12 weeks. And then we'll do 26 weeks come next year. So for the U19s next year, we're looking for 24 games. When we start to splice in some of the tournaments, you get up to 30, 40 games, which is what they play in Europe. You're in a 38 game season. So we're trying to just get to that point. Obviously, we work around schoolboy football. So if the players are already playing schoolboy football, great. You're in an environment, you're training, and as soon as schoolboy is done, we start, and then they just matriculate into our league. So they're literally playing year round and training.
Is the plan twofold, which is one, to develop football locally, but also move players from Jamaica to the major footballing markets worldwide? Or is it, listen, we need to get more players outside of Jamaica, or is it just building the foundation for good quality football in Jamaica, for sustainable league, sustainable national team? Or is it, listen, we have talent here and we need to get more players into Europe, so Valeo is here to help in that process?
So football is an industry. So what we're literally doing is building the ecosystem to facilitate an industry, all right? In the United States, it's not youth football or youth sports isn't powered by external funding. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry. What it does extremely well is it provides the resources that allows the kids and the players, to train, the coaches to be compensated, the clubs to be able to put out even better, more innovative ways of teaching the game. So the plan really is to develop the infrastructure in Jamaica using what is in Jamaica, and then to provide the opportunity and the access to every ambitious Jamaican player where they can actually see football as a way to improve their economic situation, to improve their family situation. So the outlets for these programs, there's two things. Is either one you're going to end up going to college, or two, you're going to play professional. Ideally, everyone aspires to play on the national team, which again makes it easier for you to matriculate into the professional ranks. So we have two outlets: college or professional. Outside of that, in the pursuit of these things, what we're saying is that the mere fact that you're in an environment training day in, day out, you are going to be more disciplined. You understand what commitment is, you understand what hard work is, and you're going to be a better citizen for it. You're going to be a better professional. Some of the kids, they may not, not everyone's going to be the next Leon Bailey, but, they could be the next Andrew Holness or Michael Lee Chin. And football can do that. That's what it does in this country. It's open doors for you to pursue your education. Open doors for you to pursue your other passions.
I mean, you have been around since 2008. A little while, 14. Right, 14 years.
Oh, no, I've been around. I'm a little bit older. 14. I'm just, but the club as it stands, I've been
right. So what is the success rate in terms of players in your academy coming through the ranks? In the 12 years, like, you can look back and say, listen, we have had success. This is tried and proven because we have helped several players to get into university, or several have gone pro, or they've just been better men and women in society.
Yeah, so here we make the difference between success, which is fleeting, and excellence, which is timeless. So, if we're looking at this pure numbers, the current iteration of Valeo, I think we're in Newton, I think we're like 900, 1,000 players. Most of these, 90% of these kids, or 99, are going to go to college, even if they didn't play football, just because that's how the environment is structured. But from a footballing perspective, like I said, how we started, our focus was purely on the individual, so much so that we were the development academy, which was what the U.S. national team ran. We were invited to participate in the development academy just on the strength of the amount of sheer volume of kids. And to speak in numbers, I think we're up to 11 or 12 U.S. national team players, one in Armenia. For futsal, it's another 12 on the U.S. futsal national team. The New England Revolution, which is their local professional ranks, every year on average is between 6 to 10 kids end up going there. They would like a lot more to go. We don't want so many to go because we have to play against them in the same league, because we're in the same league with the MLS. So every year they take our players and turn around.
They get better.
And play us back with our own players.
Oh, okay.
But it's part of the process, is that we're supposed to be partners, so it's a logical extension. So, and I'm saying from the past 10 years, every year, hundreds of kids in college. We have a pretty robust college preparation program that not only speaks about what you do in the football field, but you understand your academics, where you fit as an individual, because not every college is created equal. So just to recap, in Europe, I think we have up to 6 youth players.
Right, that's in Portugal, because you're in Portugal.
Yeah, they're in Portugal. About every transfer window they move. So I think one now, I can't keep up with everyone. When last I checked, he was in some Italian Serie A first division club. But most of our players were at Belenenses and Sporting Lisbon. So now in Portugal we have our own little setup, our own club, which is again, yes, it's football, but we also have partnerships with the local universities, and it's one of the things that we're hoping to offer to like young Jamaican players.
Awesome.
Yeah,
awesome.
Like the kids in the current league, if you have your grades together and you do well, there's a clear path for you to matriculate into a Portuguese universities and get and play And we say the same thing for the kids here in America, because in colleges in the United States is 75, 80,000 a year, and that's US dollars. Not everybody, a lot of Americans just check the box to say they went to college. But what we're saying is that you could go to college and pursue your European professional dreams. Now, where you end up, that's function of you, your talent, and your hard work. But
Yeah.
all we can do is just provide the environment.
Open door.
Yeah, and open the door. And all we ask the player is not to burn the bridge, and not to make it easier for another player to come through, because you know how these things work. It's like reputation,
Yeah.
So, but those are things that we're doing. So for Valeo, we serve the player. In Jamaica, what we're trying to do is create a platform which is a little bit different.
Yeah. All right. So I'm coming to your questions, persons in the comment section, so you can send them in. Let me start from this one down here. This is CC Sports Lab. He says, I am sure sports. I want to know what's the cost to the parents who their kids become a part of this.
Cost to like to play in the league in Jamaica?
Right. Are when they play in the league, are they a part of Valeo Academy in Jamaica or internationally? Are they still a part of their club, but the league is operated by Valeo?
Yeah, so the league is, we have obviously we are Barbican, but what we are doing is, which I try to explain to all the academy and youth club owner, youth club operators. You need a league, you need a competitive environment. Otherwise, you're just training, and the kids don't have any way to express themselves. So in Jamaica, Valeo serves twofold. We operate the league, in partnership with CASAFA. So, we are just doing all the background work, all the administration, all the media that you see, because we're taping a lot of the games, because the kids are going to need highlight films, so that we have a huge push in just media. One to help teach the game, and two, just for the kids to help market themselves. You could be like the next Shamar Nichols. Nobody knows if no one could see you. So, and I think this weekend we'll be live streaming a couple of the games. So those are the things that we're doing. What we're, outside of the administration, outside of making sure that the coach, reminding the coaches, hey, it's about the kids, hey, it's about development. So we're just trying to do our best to help as many kids as possible. They don't have to play for Valeo itself. Valeo itself is at Barbican, but you
also Valeo itself is at Barbican.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Barbican. But
so say, because I think, and I see one more person have a similar question, because what they're asking is that, well, given what they have seen, read, heard about Valeo, they want their kid to come and be a part of Valeo. When they come to Barbican, are they a part of Barbican, which is managed by Valeo, or are they a part of Valeo? I think that is what I'm picking up. They're trying to ask.
Well, they're part of Valeo. The kids were the same kids we were here. The coaches staff come here. The kids come here, twice a year. So last summer we had, I think, 6 kids, 6, 7. They were here for the whole summer. Some of them were here from the spring, from April to September. Some, I think, Matthew Baker, who you know of.
Right, Matthew Baker, right. I think he's called up for the U20s as well.
Yeah, so Matthew's been part of Valeo for years, for the past 4 years. So he comes and plays all the tournaments. He spends the summers here. I think now he's in Germany. So Matthew Bell, he came last April. He spent 5-6 months with us and got a scholarship to go to.
Matthew Bell is under 16.
No, Matthew Bell is a little bit older. I think Matthew's old, not a little bit. 2002, but
Okay.
he's going to Marshall, which is, I think, the Marshall's Division 1 national champions, defending champions, I think.
Okay.
So he and a couple players from here are going to Marshall, but he got a scholarship. He got a scholarship to Marshall.
Okay. Any other player that we know through the schoolboy system at Marshall with him?
Not from Jamaica, just Matthew.
Okay.
Nico went to Germany. Bell went to the local prep school and then matriculated into Marshall.
Is Ethan Falls in Portugal? Because he's in Portugal. Is he a part of Valeo?
Ethan?
Yeah.
No. Few years ago, we did bring four when we had a partnership with Belenese, and we brought I think 8 players, 4 from Trinidad and 4 from Jamaica to Portugal, and they were on trial for like 3 weeks. They didn't fare well because they thought it was cold.
Okay.
Yeah, but the 2 guys that I think you guys would know. There's some of the younger ones you may not know. Jaheim Kennedy, he was here all summer. Andrew Lee, which is from Portmore.
And Andre Reed, right? Andre Reed Jr.
No, this is Andrew Lee. I think he's from Portmore. We had a bunch of kids. So they came up. They spent the whole summer in the house.
Okay. So again, if I take my son up to Barbican and say I want my son to be a part of Valeo, he just need to go to train, have his soccer stuff. There's no money. Because I think that what is the fee? What is the cost?
Oh, so that is at the discretion of the director. There is Kemar Daly.
I don't like when I think when you lean, when you come forward, you sound better. When you come forward,
yeah. So that is at the discretion of the director, which is Kemar Daly.
Who is the director?
Kemar Daly.
Kemar Daly.
Mm-hmm. He's a director there, but a lot of the kids
not the Kemar Daly that plays football.
I don't know Kemar. I don't know.
All right, go ahead.
To be honest, so that's at the discretion. A lot of the kids come from the inner cities; they don't pay anything,
Okay, so you won't turn back a kid, but there is a cost.
There is a cost, but before there wasn't any cost for the past 5 years.
From 2015 there was no cost. Okay.
Yeah, so because we were doing it with Casafa, so there wasn't any cost for the,
I ask you because I think there are persons interested in being a part of it, but they want to know if they can afford it. So
no, it's not. It's not any big money or anything.
Yeah. So maybe we need to find out how do I direct them? So because they keep asking the same. So let me see. So go on the Valley. If they go on the Valeo Football FUTBOL club site, they will find that information, or they need to.
Yeah. So we have a Valeo FC. We're at ValeoFC.com. That's our primary website. There's a ValeoFCJamaica.com. I'm not sure if because we're redoing all our web infrastructure. I'm not sure if that information is updated in terms of the contact, but it's Kemar Daly at ValeoFC.com. That's the.
There you go. So it's Kemar Daly at ValeoFC.com. So you can get all the information you need there. All right. So let me just take this one from Dave Stone. Dave Stone says, "Greeting, Emelio. Andre Simmons has told me a lot about Valeo. I took some time off work to come down to Oxford to assist him with tryouts and to observe the operation."
Yeah. No, big up Andre. So Andre is Coach Carlton, who I think.
Yes.
Bucklehead.
But yeah.
Legendary footballer.
Yeah, former camp. Schoolboy football as well.
Yeah. You would know him. He and I run Valeo, so he's a director of operations. Andre is his son. So we started a Valeo down south where Andre, we partnered with a sports trade performance institute. So they've been doing a pretty good job down there. But Andre's part of the family.
Yeah. And Boss Thomas is asking, have you ever played in the GA Adidas U15 and U17 held in the US? I think he's asking if Valeo has ever played in that.
No, we have never played. We've never played in that.
Because you're in Massachusetts, which is.
Yeah, but our kids go. Valeo is a Nike club, so the GA usually I think is like Adidas clubs.
Yeah.
Adidas, but Generation Adidas.
And you're the next brand right there.
Yeah, we're the next brand. We don't, but our kids go because the Revs are in Adidas. So
That's cool.
tons of our kids,
Yeah. All right. And yeah, Dave Stone is saying, Omar Fowling, I hope you got the answer. Kemar Daily at ValeoFC.com, and you'll get the information and cost and that. Right. I played college soccer with Andre. Dave Stone is saying, respect.
It's Kemar at Valeo FC. I'll just type it here.
Let me just put that Kemar at VALEOFC.
FC.com.
Yeah. All right. So.
So
I'm putting that, people, for those who you want to check out, Kemar at ValeoFC.com. There you go. So you can reach out to them there.
And if they want to play in the league administrator or commissioner is France Walker.
So the league. So can they still enter?
Through one of the teams. Remember, we have Brownstown, Boystown, Ligani.
They could connect to one of the teams and play
any other teams. It's not just Valeo.
France. You said France.
France Walker, and I'll give you France's email. It's francewalker@casafa.org. France.walker@casafa.org.
All right. So.
Yeah. So that he's a league commissioner. So
that's a league administrator commissioner. So you can
Yeah.
All right. And then Stedra Roach is saying, because you said that you're going to stream games. He's asking where will the games be streamed, like where they can watch the games.
So most of the media for the league is at on Instagram at Reggae Football, and I'll just put this Reggae_football. That's Instagram, and then we just built the YouTube channel where because we tape 3 or 4 games every week. We can't tape every game because we have 18 games per week. So that's the IG is at Reggae Football, and the YouTube. Give it to YouTube. We just finished making it this week. Is just search Reggae Football on YouTube. It's Reggae Football. I don't know
Okay, so there you go, people. That's where you can watch the live streams of the game. All right, hope you're getting all the information that you need. Coach Andrew Edwards, who actually run Genesis Football Academy down there in Manchester, says, "Hats off, Emelio. Thank you for doing this for Jamaica. I'm ready to help here in South Central when you are ready."
Yeah, big up yourself, Andrew. Andrew is a real man from a long time. We're coming your side, Andrew. We're coming. So we just have to organize things because we actually do have a team from out west in the league, Los Perfectos.
You actually Los Perfectos is yours?
No, it's not us. The Los Perfectos travel across the country every week to come play.
Oh, so the Los Perfectos is actually playing in the competition?
Yeah, I think Tony James.
Tony James, yeah, that's awesome.
So we're gonna try and get with Tony to organize something more local, similar type setup.
Oh, so though the competition is in Casafa, it was not only for Casafa teams.
No.
I think a lot of persons may not have understood that initially. Because once a year Casafa, you'd have probably assumed that it is Casafa.
No.
Yes.
It's meant to be inclusive, not exclusive. Yeah, so
this is this is very good, because if I had known, Coach Andrew and I could have gone. I'm sure that Coach and Eros didn't know, because like I said, how it was announced, how the whole thing was carried.
Yeah.
And even when I made contact to kind of find out what was happening, I was being connected. I mean, Mark Burnett, right? Mark Burnett, who is part of the whole organizing from Casafa. You get the feeling that it was really a football tournament in Kasafa, but there's going to be a rollout in other areas in Jamaica at some point for the other teams. So it's good that you have cleared that up. And I like what you have said as well, that if you are watching this and you have a son,
Yeah.
are the teams, I mean, like an under 12 team, can a girl play as well if she's talented?
Yeah, there's several girls that have
Awesome.
at match days. So one of the things that we're trying to work on is starting a girls competition, maybe the next iteration. Because what you see here currently is just been 2 years of planning. Everyone was invited, but by the time people go, yeah, 1 foot in, 1 foot out, 1 foot in, this is what we have now. So we're trying to organize for the next version a girls competition and try to build the girls, because you need that sort of infrastructure to actually have a sustainable national team program.
Yeah.
That we can all be proud of.
All right. Do you use the Valeo principles in how the league is managed? And I'm going to tell you why. Like I tell you why I ask.
Yeah.
I mean, it's may sound crazy, but it's practical. So in the States, right, what I know is that, and you said it earlier, at different age group, they use a certain amount of players on the field and a certain field size, which is standard.
Yeah.
That way, the players get a certain amount of touches.
Yeah.
What I find is in Jamaica, we tend to play, we are so competitive by nature that winning takes precedence over development. So you could have a 20-team roster, and for the duration of the competition, only 13 players play.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Do you put things in place that says, listen, you have unlimited substitution? Every player, registered player, must play at least 90 minutes for the duration of the competition. Do you do those things? Are you allowed the administrators to run that? Because I know when you play in your tournament in your academy setup there, these things are there. They are just principles that when you go and play 5-a-side at 8-7, so a player is not standing on the field for 20 minutes and not touching the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the short answer is yes. We're those facilitators, and what we're trying to do is just to say, hey, here are best practices. We've studied what some of the best in the world have done, and field size matters. So we have a 7v7 setup. We have 9v9s and we have 11v11s. So obviously in a 7v7 you're going to touch the ball a lot more, be more involved. So we feel that it's a very a good opportunity for players to teach the game, especially small group tactics, because to jump out and play 11v11 as a 9-year-old is just madness, because the field is swallowed.
Yeah, with a big goal.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But it's a league where the coaches, there's a technical committee. I think Mark leads that from Kasafa, and they have ongoing meetings where they discuss roster sizes. There's unlimited substitution because about development.
Awesome.
We're very competitive people, and we're a competition culture. So sometimes it needs gentle reminders. Hey, it's about the kids.
Yeah, exactly.
About development. But for the most part, everyone understands the long-term goal and sees the long-term vision and says, hey, okay, I might have gotten carried away, but so it's a very fluid situation where suggestions are made and they're thought, the club directors, technical directors talk it through, and then they come to a conclusion and cement it, and
Awesome.
So it's very much collaborative in its approach, and what, like I said, it's going from just pure competition and beating your chest to like, hey, what does this kid look like in 2 years, and doing what's best for, player X. Takes a little bit of time, but I think that everyone is we're on a good trajectory, and I'm really happy
about that.
Yeah, exactly.
What about coaching at that level, at the grassroots levels? Because again, one of the issues that seem to come up in the footballing circle is that the kids are not being developed in the tenets of the game, and which is infrastructure is poor. But outside of that, they already don't have. And let me just preface this question with this comment. I was speaking to Eric Radamaker recently. He runs Kingston Football Academy.
Yeah.
Don't know if they're right at
Yeah.
Campion. And he took a group of Jamaicans to Holland recently, to the Netherlands, and they were talking to kids in the same age group.
Yep.
And up to age 16, they said that those kids in Holland, by that time, even the ones who are on the fringes, not the top players only, but the ones on the fringes, they have played over 300 competitive games.
Yep.
All right, by that time. In Jamaica, the calculation at that point was if you win every competition up to 16, it's a maximum of 70-something games.
Yeah.
So these kids over there are playing like 5 times the amount of games as the kids in Jamaica. So when you have that, you don't have the best infrastructure, then coaching becomes very important, that the right tenets and principles of the games are taught. How is Valeo working with the coaches who are coaching in this competition that you are initiating to ensure that those things are done, that there is proper coaching, or there's a standardized level of coaching across the competition?
So, like I said, the common theme of this competition is development. Player development being first and foremost, right? Or people development, I should say, first and foremost. Coaches are very important because they are the mentors and the gatekeepers, and so we have literally two main tracks here. One, which will be onboarding, is we have a sports psychologist, which is going to be working with everybody, but her name is Nikki Dawes, Professor Nikki Dawes. She's a professor at LaSalle College. That's in Massachusetts here, but she also is Jamaican from Arden, and she wants to help. So,
she's from Jamaica?
Yeah, man, Dr. Nikki Dawes.
And she's a sports psychologist?
She's a psychologist. Yeah.
Oh.
And she teaches sports psychology at the university.
Interesting.
So she's signed on. We actually have two. She's signed on to help us. So one of the things that we're talking about is our conversation is even how we talk to players.
Yeah.
Players talk to each other, and how we respond to stress. And so we have a full program that she's developed, and one of the things the group should be working with are the coaches. Manager group leadership. And how do you create leaders? Things like that. How do you manage stress? These are things. All things being equal, it's the what happens in the mind that separates us. Separates the elite athletes from just the good athletes. So there's a full program that will be rolling out that focuses purely on that, and she will be leading that. From just the footballing perspective, even prior to COVID, I had spoken to some folks in the Irish FA, Football Association, and we've since reconnected. Explain this is what the Jamaican ecosystem looks like, and I have plenty of conversations, and there's a gentleman that we're going to be working with that will be coming, and it's a blended learning platform, which is some online courses, then in-person courses. He's going to come to Jamaica and work with the coaches there.
Awesome.
And this guy's a foremost expert. He's worked with about 40 different federations on their youth development, and and then, but the whole point of this, not only is it just teaching, but is the preparation of our coaches if they want to pursue like their UEFA badges or something.
Whoa, that is awesome.
For the more ambitious coaches, but just even if you don't want to do that, the sheer knowledge. I know there's person who's been around the world coaching youth, so he has a wealth of knowledge to offer, and like really, really, really great guy. So I'm really looking forward to starting that process. But like I said, we just started a league. We're gonna make sure everybody show up on time, make sure everybody have their right
it's, it's strange. It's strange, like when you operate in an environment like this, like the thing sometimes that you have to focus on
yeah,
in the initial stages. If you never had to, you'd be way
yeah,
ahead
yeah,
at the game.
yeah,
But because
yeah,
even the basic things that are in some other countries or places, these are the
yeah,
norms.
yeah,
It's abnormal
yeah,
in
yeah.
in in
So,
in
but
our circles. Let me say it that way. It's abnormal. So you have to reculture
yeah,
or change the whole culture. Like turning up. You think like if this is the big opportunity, then you'd
yeah,
think like everybody's going to be there before time.
yeah, yeah. No,
You have to teach punctuality.
yeah,
You
but
know, which yeah.
it's been good. It's been good. So we're, these are the little things which end up being the big things, right? That we focus on, make sure the games are played, make sure we're on time, make sure everyone is dressed professionally, make sure everyone is respectful, make sure we leave the place clean, these are things that we have to teach. And, I do understand it's a process, but so let's just stabilize the thing. Everyone get familiar. We know where the venue is, where the field is, where you're playing, the time. Then we can start layer on some of the other things that we want to you know, get across the other programs. Uh,
I see Jermaine Miller here having Jermaine. Let me say, it is real. He said, if this guy is what this guy is doing is actually real. It is real, Jeremy. It is actually happening. Then this is a big deal. Jamaica needs more people like you, and more organizations are like Valeo. But it is real, Jeremy. It is actually happening.
yeah.
That is why we're having the
Every
conversation.
Saturday, we're at JFF Center. Go on Instagram. You can see the past few weeks.
Yeah,
You
you
know,
can see
and
stuff.
the interviews, which I'm really excited. Big up Andrew. He's a young man. He was here last year with us. He's turned himself into a media marketing. I was saying, hey, we have to do this for Jamaica. So we get him all the equipment. He has, people that he's working with capturing all the footage. So it's kids interviewing the kids. That, he's videotaping the games, organizing it, everything and whatnot. So he's doing his thing. Really proud of him because in his mind, he's really helping out. Helping Jamaica, and he's doing his part. So go on Instagram.
Yeah, go on Instagram and check it out. Listen, and if I have the time and you need somebody to do commentary, I'm a
Yeah.
very good.
Forward, man. Yeah, forward. We're the professionals.
Yeah, maybe I can do some commentary and one of the
Yeah,
games to add a little bit more spice to it. But what about? Go
yeah.
ahead.
I was gonna say move the studio so you look comfortable. By the way, move the studio in a portable studio from
We
one side
could,
so
we
that
could,
it's set up
we could
on.
do that. We could do that and do some commentary
Yeah,
and think that could be arranged. And maybe we'll talk about that and see how we can. But what about one of the other things that I think as you're doing this, and I know you probably have it. I think there's one person in Jamaica is very good. His name is Miller, who does the Boss Thomas. They're saying that to pin the IG. I think. All right, I will soon do that for the game. I'm going to do that again, Boss Thomas. Don't worry, right?
yeah,
His name is Miller, but he is one of those persons. He's a Jamaican. Don't have the right equipment, but he does. He can break down the game, take players, look at them, do the videos using, and he doesn't have the program right now. Um, is Valeo doing that as a part of enhancing the players, abilities and the coaches? Where when like the older age group play, you can actually tell a player that listen, this is your heat map. All
yeah,
right. You're walking. You think you're doing really, really good, but off
yeah,
the ball,
yeah,
just look at you. You're walking
yeah,
on the defensive end, but when
yeah,
you get the ball, you're brilliant. But
yeah,
you think you're doing a whole lot, or you just sprint like Sanchez. You sprint off very fast, but you don't do anything. You just move off quickly, like
yeah.
you're doing something. Do you do that kind of, or it's not necessary at this stage?
So in Boston, we use Instat. We have a ton of different technologies that we use here. A lot of we've brought to Jamaica. Like we shoot the games with a VO, with onboard artificial intelligence. There's analysis software behind it. But for what I told the technical directors is, we're going to provide analysis, for one or two games, at least one or two games. And in Instat, if anyone have used, is what they use in Champions League.
Yeah,
You
Instat, right.
get 29 pages of pure data. You get 2 pages just on all your actions as a player. Every pass you've made, the distance you've made, how many turnovers. Why we like it here is because it's objective data. Outside of that, the Instat, it chops up the film, where, I could just click on the player, whatever they say, the left back, and I could see every time he's touched the ball, the first 5 seconds before, 5 seconds after, or whatever duration I want. Or I can look at every play in the final third, or I could look at all the defensive plays or all the offensive plays. So it's a very powerful program. It's not cheap. So I told the directors, that you know, we'll we'll give everyone a couple weeks to get acclimated, because obviously we're now in our fourth week, match day four, I think, coming up, or five, and then we're going to get every player's at least the basis of an analysis. Where you have your full, at least one match fully analyzed, or maybe two, fully analyzed, video included. So right now the videos we just send the videos out, as soon as they're done. So we use video, we
I've
use
done that. Awesome.
yeah,
Awesome. I'm glad. I'm glad because I know that this guy, he's one of the persons out here, and it's not appreciated, but it's good for our kids and coaches to get accustomed to this kind of a breakdown analysis of their own play.
yeah,
Because when you don't have the footage to show, people
yeah,
don't believe.
yeah.
So it's always,
It,
yeah,
it's not it's objective, as opposed to what we feel say have a good game, and coaches see me with the wickedest, and no, but what about you turn the ball over 8 out of 10 times, that's not good, or 99% of your passes is negative, that's not good for a number 10.
yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. But look how much passes I made, but there how many positive passes? You made 60 passes
Yeah,
or 20 passes, but there's only one positive. So that's,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. That's good. That's good. Listen, man, I think this is going to change the dynamics. If sustained, I hope that you get, all the support that you need,
Yeah.
from the federation and government, that all the red tapes that would, I know how it is.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
some of the red tapes will turn green. You
yeah,
understand me? So things can be a goal because we have good intentions, good ideas, good plans, but if the systems that are in place don't allow flexibility with control,
yeah,
then what happens is that people get discouraged, get dissatisfied, and just say, I can't be bothered with
yeah,
this struggle because you're trying to help. And
yeah,
many persons have come, wanting to help and just,
yeah,
I can't be bothered. And you have been at it since 2015, and that is good news. And it is getting better and it is getting bigger,
yeah.
because people are now, knowing about it. So, I'm happy, absolutely happy for the opportunity that have been presented to so many young men and young women, in Jamaica. What do you make though, in closing, of the what I call the talent pool of Jamaicans? How do you, because you have been around the world, you have been exposed to talent all over. What do you make of the talent in Jamaica? How do we compare with talent elsewhere?
Um, to be honest, I've heard people, there's a narrative that says, "Oh, we have so much talent and we have so much." To be honest, at the highest level, is technique that plays the game, and work and commitment. Are we athletic people? Absolutely. We are speed factories. But I think that with having playing with your friends is very different than playing in an organized setting. We are talented people, but if there's no work behind it, it's for naught. And at the highest level, it's literally that. That's the differences between you making the team and you not making the team. So, is there a talent there? Yes. There's talent everywhere, but is the machine that's behind it, the both internal and external, that turns that talent from potential into something actionable, So yeah, yes, we're talented, but we have a long way to go. And I won't even pretend, like technically and tactically, we have a long way to go. But we are on a good path, So I just don't want to be. I just want us to stop being delusional about woulda, coulda, shoulda. The last time we made a World Cup was '98. We'd like to make the next World Cup, but it starts now, So that's what
Oh, the 2026 one. We ain't making it. We ain't making the next one. That's
yeah,
gone.
yeah, 2026. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. But it's all, but it's like it's all doable. Like I said, I think it's
Yeah.
like the league. If we continue the same path, absolutely, because the kids are playing. When I watch the kids play, can I watch the games? When I'm there, I'm obviously there, but I watch them on YouTube. I could clearly see the invention. I was like, wow. I'm really happy that they have a chance to express themselves. And when I listen to the coaches, they're very passionate. They can't wait to get back to training to try and improve this and improve that. So when I project it out, I'm like, I could see nothing but greatness in the future. And getting back to where we were, way back when we were just turning out talented people like Bucklehead and Freddie. Freddie,
Yeah, yeah.
Freddie,
You know what? I don't want Freddie to beat me, next time he see me this summer. So
yeah,
he did make a comment. Let me see if I can find it. Oh my lord, let me see if I can find it. He says, "Big up yourself, Mookie." I know he's not referring to me because
yeah.
I don't have so that must be you. So
Street name.
street name.
No, Jamaicans. Nobody use their real name. Apparently, Emelio has too many syllables. So.
I mean, too many syllables, so they just go Mookie. All right,
Yeah.
wonderful. Listen, people, if you have any more questions, you can go ahead, and then I think I'll take this one. What is the qualification of the coaches for the 6-year-olds? But I don't think you have any 6-year-olds yet that you're working with locally.
We're working backwards. But I'm a big fan of the best coaches coaching the youngest kids. I'll give an example. I mean, I started Valeo. I could coach in the team. I coach the 6-year-olds at Valeo. So I have 300 of them that I see every week.
So the best coaches coach at the youngest level.
That's what the best academies do.
That's what I can. Whoa, people, you hear that?
We
are a top in Jamaica. Then we are a top heavy thing.
Yeah.
I think we have flipped it. We put our best coaches at the top, and the coaches who are just learning at the bottom.
Yeah, no, there's no hype. There's no hype at the lower end. Obviously, if you're coaching a senior team, you're on TV. Everybody wants that, but to have real sustainable success is the best coaches coach the youngest kids, because that's where you learn the fundamentals of the game, and you learn to love the game. And once you've learned something, you have the rest of your life to master it. So it's best to learn it early than later.
Pepsi.
Oh,
Pinnock says, "Bless up, Sir E."
Yes, Pepsi.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, man. Good having you. And we also got a message from Carlton Simmons, who should come and talk to me from when, but he's a busy man. So hopefully one of these days he will have some time. Valeo seem to be keeping him occupied, which is a good thing. So hopefully one of these days he will come and share on his own journey and just an expansion onto what you're doing.
Yeah.
But go ahead. I don't know if there's anything you want to add, but I mean, this is a whole lot of information to absorb and very good. I mean, this is great stuff that is happening. These things make us believe that, but it look like there is hope, right, for the football, because everything seems so dismal and disappointing and discouraging. And so when you hear these stories, you think like, all right, even if I can wait for the next 4 years, things will probably turn around,
No, I tell you, you just have to show up. If you show up on Saturday, some of the kids are super talented, and
and this is at the Captain Horace Center.
Yeah, man. We play both on the turf and on the grass.
And tell people, what time does it start on a Saturday?
The first match is 8 a.m., but the U13s are 8 to 10, and then the U15s are 10:30 to like 12:30, and then from 12:30 on, it's just the U17s. Um, yeah, so but if you show up on Saturday, you see some real ballers.
Yeah.
Big up to all the club directors. They're doing a really fantastic job. Just they just really like show up on Saturday. You will see, you'll see.
Yeah. And then remember you also said earlier that if you have a player, you can just reach out to probably some of the clubs.
Yeah,
And you
clubs.
could connect and have your player play with them, though you may not be able to field a team in the competition. You could have that kid, boy or girl, if they're good enough,
Yeah,
get into one of those teams and get some good, valuable
yeah.
playing time.
Yeah, man. So for 'cause right now the competition, I think they can still add players, different teams. So that's one. Then the new competition U15, 13, 15 starts in July for Kasafa, and then I think we might do a U10 in the summer. And then fall is, I think, 10 to 14, any kid that's 10 to 14, brand new league that will run year round. And then the older kids, 15 to 20, I think will start in December or January, and that runs till June, July. So there are going to be plenty of opportunities to participate. And then we'll work with some of the other stakeholders in the other parts of the island to try to get the leagues in their areas up and running.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, man.
That's good. That's good. I'd love to see something in St. Anne, probably in partnership with like a Mount Pleasant who is down here.
Yeah.
Um,
Jackson has a nice facility.
nice facility. And they have the two fields that you could use, that's 4 games.
Yeah.
Time. And they just completed a very good prep school competition. I mean, there's a kid there called Jawa. I think they're contemplating what to do with him. He was at Tottenham, I think, for around 7 years and moved to Jamaica in the last 2 years.
Okay.
I mean, completely, it's like you can tell when you go to the games
Yeah.
that he
And
learned football somewhere else.
and that's
I don't want to sound like Jamaica is, listen, and don't let me, I'm not bad mouthing Jamaica, but you can, when you go on your scene play, you can see the distinct difference with this play.
That's what I try to explain to people. When you leave the island and you see some of these competitive teams play, the top tier of the MLS, the top tier of England, the same age group, the polish on these kids is like ridiculous. And that's why I keep explaining that unless we have trained eye the nuances of the game, or like we miss that. But you could literally see how the technical speed of the players and the tactical speed of the players, and that's the difference. But there's nothing that we can't close. We just have to work at it. I'm from St. Anne, so we want to do something. So
Definitely.
yeah.
And let me tell the people. So one of the things that I've taken away from this interview is there are no more big ballers.
Yeah.
Right? You're not no Messi. Change that title. I'm going to call you by your name. You're not no Lewandowski. You're not no Pogba. You're not no Ronaldo. Your name is your name. You're not at that level yet. Work on your craft and don't get the star mentality right now, because you may be a big fish in the small pond called Jamaica, but when you're thrown into the ocean, you're what Jamaican would say a tiki, one of those little, young things. So keep that in mind. I see Pepsi endorsing you for president. So I think he's a campaign manager. So he's working on something. He's campaigning because election coming up soon. So look out. The campaign manager will be going around endorsing President Emelio Williams. At my club, the coaches move through the age group with the kids. What do you think of that module? Meaning, if they start out with them at 6, they go all the way up.
Yeah. We're a little bit different at this club. We try to stay with a team for only 2, maybe 3 years. And the reason being is that over time, different players develop under different coaches, and whether we like it or not, we all get a little bit familiar with each other and everyone kind of settles. But a new voice often is needed for a kid to realize their potential. So we try to rotate our coaches.
Coaching. Okay.
But of course, people, have a little bit of, oh, this is my team. And, we're,
Yeah, I used to work with this one. It's 2 years of working.
yeah,
No.
yeah,
Yeah. That's
yeah,
true. All right,
yeah.
and then this person says, glad to see the academy popping up in Jamaica. Can't wait on the JPL club and JFF to have a plan. And then Stefan Wright says, this only argues well. I think he's saying for the future of our football program. Yeah. But listen, is there anything else you want to add? Anything else you want to share, Emelio? I know you're a busy man and you have gone an hour and 15 minutes. I don't want to keep you any longer. Lest I get I get some receipt from your club for me to pay what I don't have, and then I have to call Freddie Butler and Battlehead to send over a check to you. So
Oh, man. No, just happy to be here. I think you're doing great work. I think the more we can talk about certain issues that we have, then we can come up with solutions. There are people out there that are really trying to help. And all we're trying to do is trying to build an ecosystem. And there's a lot of people in the diaspora that want to give back, and but like you said earlier, I've been disappointed in this and that. But we do have a structure, and the clubs, I could vouch personally, the clubs are working really hard with their kids, and a lot of them do need the help, and we try to help. Like we gave everybody balls and bags and gave all the kids, all the gear. But
so you give out all the teams have you gave them the gears?
Yeah. So
That's
yeah,
awesome.
all the kids bags,
And bags and okay, that is awesome.
the clubs.
So I mean, it's like a fully.
Yeah, there's no excuse not to participate. You just have to
Whoa.
bring yourself. But we're only one institution. I'm only one person. But support your club. So the next thing I'm trying to build is a mechanism that allows, if you come from, Greenwich Farm or Boys Town, you can support the Greenwich Farm, and everything that you give them actually goes to the club and goes to the kids and whatnot. Because to be honest, the kids really need it, and they're very appreciative of everything that is done. My job is just to make sure people don't take it for granted, and make sure the resources get where they get. But for this,
yes.
yeah, but this interim, everything we gave the clubs, like everything is we paid for most of it. The clubs did, chip in because I told them that you have to, these are your club, you have to give something. So,
Right, and they would have to find the cleats. That's probably
so you obviously have to find shoes and whatnot, but I think that they're off to a very good start, and and anybody that is from those areas or whatever want to support, they should absolutely support the clubs.
yeah.
They're doing.
And that's probably what I think, because I mean, on my program, I know we said we probably can end on this note, but on my program, whenever there are issues, there's a large diaspora community that watches, and there are persons who, like I said, really want to help. Especially, they may not be able to give their physical help, but they can give their financial help. The issue is that they want to know, like what you said, that what they give is being used for what it was asked for.
Yeah.
Right. And so it would be good if when, say, you move into the next area, that there is actually a place for some of these persons in the diaspora. Say, for example, there are persons who are from, say, St. Anne, as an example, and you're going to start something in St. Anne, say, in September. Just as an example, that outside of what Valeo does, then people from St. Anne who want to give back to St. Anne to help with the overall development of football can channel that through that area, so that after you have given all of those things, the teams probably got even more resources to get cleats. So it becomes no expense, like I said, because we have to learn to remove the excuse. So remove the excuses, so people will know it is on you now. Because I tell people, right, and I'll give you a good example. We heard about a situation where players are supposed to come for the U20s, and they have been told now that they have to basically buy their tickets to Jamaica. All right. And some people see that as maybe it's an attempt by the federation to not have them come. So here's what. So let us then help to get the tickets.
Yeah.
So you know what you do when you help to get the tickets and the player there, you're removing
Yeah.
any sort of suspicion, and you're removing all the excuse.
Yeah.
So if money is an issue, let's get it. If cleats are an issue, let's get them in. If the jersey are an issue, get them in. Someone can say, nobody never helped me, no. Look how long poor people are suffering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
So
you're right. You're like I said, one of my jobs is to obviously help create the resources because you can't get blood out of stone, you know what I mean? So, the US soccer's budget, I think, is $158 million. That's US dollars for the year.
158
Million.
million. That's what? For 5 years or for every World Cup cycle? Or for a year?
I read that somewhere. They have a CEO. That's how serious. It's business. So you can Google it. It's not.
Whoa.
They're not playing with light money. So
You know what? Listen, I'd love one day for you to explain the structure of US Soccer Association to see how probably far apart is from our structure. Because we may not be able to have the same thing,
yeah,
but what we can do is take the transferable principles.
yeah,
The idea of having a CEO, for example,
yeah,
says to me immediately that this is a business.
yeah. It is.
All right. Yeah. Like you hear chief executive officer, you hear president, you think of a republic.
Yeah.
You hear CEO, you think of, so even that whole concept. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I'm happy to come back and talk about business. It takes resources to get things done, and we have to get past this. We have to get past this beef patty shop business.
Yeah. Well, we don't want to use the patty shop quote, because that is coming from a famous a famous negotiating battle between federations, and you think of patty shop business this and so, but it is true. But patty shops have CEO now,
Come on, Tasties is a multi-million-dollar.
There you go, multi-million-dollar industry. So I don't want the patty shop people to call me out.
Yeah. My fault. But a shop is different from a patty conglomerate. So, but I think we're happy to come back anytime and talk the business.
Yeah, because here's this. I am sure the USA structure, I don't think has anyone from MLS who owns a team as part of the USSF. And that's the next issue. In other words, if you operate a team, you should not be a part of the federation.
That's US football, politics, but US football, it's some marketing that runs everything. That's SUM marketing, and they own the MLS, and it's a group of investors, and they own the teams, and they own the players, and so it's a I won't say much more, but it's a real business. These guys, they're also the marketing agency for CONCACAF and the US national team and the Mexican national team and the Canadian national team. So they're not light.
Okay, awesome. Listen, this is such a good time. I mean, and 23 minutes. Want to thank you.
Lunchtime. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming on. Really, really appreciate the conversation. A wealth of knowledge that has been shared. Also want to commend you and Valeo FC for the work that you're doing in helping in the grassroots development and transformation of Jamaica's football. I wish you all the best, and I hope that everything that you need in terms of system availability is provided. That way there are no hindrances to your progress and the attempts to change things, because we need it to change for too long we have tried to address our football from the top down, instead of from the floor up. And so I'm glad that that's where you have started, because it's easy to fix the roof, it's harder to dig a foundation.
Oh, knowledge, real talk.
Yeah. And so you have sought to dig the foundation. So commendation to you and to your co Mr. Carlton Simmons, who is the director of soccer operation over there. All right, as well. So thank you so much, and it was a pleasure.
No, thank you, and thanks for having me. And big up yourself and keep up the good work. Yeah,
man, you're welcome. You're welcome. And remember, you need commentary. You need to listen to me when I do commentary. The people.
Yeah, the people. We need you on Saturdays, man.
All right. We'll see what we can. We'll talk and see what we can arrange and make it happen. And yeah.
All right. Sounds
all
good.
All right then. Yeah, thanks, man. All right. Blessings.
Yeah. That's all right.
All right. There you go, people. Our time. The morning interview with Mr. Emelio Williams. What can I say except that things in every dark cloud, there is a silver lining. And after the turmoil of last night's discussion, a new day is dawning. Hope springs forth. Change is coming. Yes, football is being revisited from the very foundation. Our hope, our prayer, and our desire is that everything possible that we can do will be done to sustain this. For all my friends in the diaspora, probably this is the kind of program you need to connect with so that you, even with your little mickle, can help with the muckle that Valeo is doing in Jamaica. Gear everything given to the clubs to participate in this competition. Isn't that awesome? Money is not an issue. So we thank all the persons who have worked assiduously to get this going. I want to say a big thank you to the persons in the comment section. Man, you're all on point. We never strayed from the discussion. We never asked questions or made suggestions that were, took us on any tangent. And that is because you operated and helped me by sticking to the core purpose of our discussion. You helped to keep me focused, and I want to thank you. All right. As usual, we ask you to hit the like button, to subscribe, and also to share the video with someone else. Enjoy the rest of your day. This is it for today, unless something pops up like Arsenal giving Tottenham 3-0, I may come back on just to gloat and to boast. But if there is any other result, you will see me tomorrow at 11 with Coach Andrew Edwards. Have a blessed day. Stay tuned to I Am Sure Sports. Again, find a way today to add value to someone's life. Because whatever you sow, you will reap. You will reap more than you have sown. And you will reap later than you have sown. All right?
Yo, watch your bad dog, SK New Erdis, the body out there, Sniper King I represent for I Am Sure Sports. You get to me, I say, when you want the latest news and sports and updates and all of that, check out I Am Sure Sports. You know the thing goes in. Remember, cover the whole island. Remember Kingston, Westmoreland, Galchester, Ocho-Rios, Galtigo Bay, everywhere. I Am Sure Sports, check it out for the latest news and latest updates. Sniper King I represent. Where them feel like, yeah. Someone on for the food from young, from we there, you need height. I am sure sports. Yeah, dog.